What is up? My name is Cooper Neal. That is Jarrett Bennett, and we love drafts. Jarrett, how you doing? How you been? It's been a minute.
I'm in crippling pain. Um, every muscle in my back went at the last wrestling practice yesterday, and so I am. You will not see me move from this spot throughout the show.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. No, sometimes. I mean, we're not that old, but when you get up there in the mid 20s, the backs just go out more frequent than they're
hmm
supposed to. Uh, we just, I think we just wish we were still in our 16-year-old bodies, able to wrestle
Yeah.
and get around and not hurt every day. But little housekeeping because it's been a minute since we took off for the holidays. Not necessarily because we wanted to, more out of necessity of just life is hectic around the holidays. But we have officially started a Twitter account. Obviously, under the same thing, we love drafts, and what we're going to do there is we'll probably mainly use that for basketball at the moment. We'll probably post some highlight packages of players. I think Debanza, if I remember correctly, his stuff is on. Maybe Caleb Wilson. I don't remember
It
who I
was
saw.
Caleb Wilson
Caleb
that I
Wilson.
had
My
on
bad.
there.
My bad. But we'll also have a long list of all the games to watch with the players to watch, done by Mr. Jarrett Bennett over
Yes.
there. And we
There were 40 posts over 4 days on there.
yeah, and it was
Um,
beautiful. It was
yeah,
beautiful.
you'll
And
get list of games, and then there'll be box scores after the fact
yeah,
posted there
yeah.
for people to
And
keep track of.
my favorite part is there's now going to be a We Love Drafts game of the week, which I had nothing to do with this. I'm not going to take any credit for this, but our very first game of the week was a masterclass. I mean, dude sitting there, cinema. Just, I mean, it was beautiful.
Mm.
I didn't know much about Virginia or Tech this year. Hadn't paid that much attention yet to either of those teams, but oh boy, am I now. It's like the Dr. Pepper commercial. I have a side team now. Actually, screw it. They're my main team now because I'm not watching Ole Miss basketball anymore this season. So like, Tech is the team I'm rocking with. You said I think Virginia should win the game, but Tech scrappy. They're probably going to keep it in there. Triple overtime game,
Yeah.
uh, and I fell in love with all the wrong people.
hmm
None of the draft prospects are my
Yeah.
guys. It's all the other
Yeah, the draft
guys.
prospects were Grunlow and Avdalis are like the main guys that are you're going to see on mock drafts. Hated those guys.
No,
Absolutely
they were
hated them,
terrible.
especially Avdalis. You can't stand the guy. I mean, the
No,
upside is there, but he's frustrating.
it's not. It's not.
Occasionally just does
he's
something you're like, well, a lot of guys can't do that.
he's an unathletic
But
Jalen Green, just an unathletic shot chucker, and I can't get behind it. He was a complete ball stopper in that game. Thankfully, they beat Virginia, but he was just a complete ball stopper. Grunlow had a good first half. He
he did
was
nothing the second half.
nothing
Like
in the second half.
they took him. He wasn't in for the first two overtimes. I don't think.
Neither
Um,
was the guy that came in and almost won on the third overtime.
yeah, sheesh. They had Lugano and Yenso instead of him in there, and it's like okay, we'll see how much they trust Grunlow actually, because he provided nothing offensively.
Yeah,
Period.
no,
He gets
it
some
was
blocks,
DeRitter. It was
but
DeRitter.
yeah, DeRitter,
Yeah.
who I think is a name to keep an eye
Um,
out for. Two-way signings, especially 6'8", 240, strong, can dribble, can shoot the ball, can get to the rim. Very hard nosed. Like
yeah.
guy played mean the entire game. I
Yes.
think he'll find a place in the league. I had him higher because I was under the impression because he was a freshman that he was 18, 19 years old. He's 22 years old. He's another one of those Euro guys that came over. They I don't understand the process behind deciding what year they are because Cameron Dean is listed as a senior at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He's 22. I was like, oh, that's the rule. Is they just go based off age? Like, no, this guy's a freshman actually. Like,
How
okay,
much had he played overseas? Was he like since 16, like Carmodine?
something like that. Like he was playing Euro, I think in the Euro Cup last year. So
Okay. He
he's
was
a
good. I thought. I
he's really
mean, this
solid.
is this is a rough comparison because I've only watched like two games of him so far. But he kind of reminded me of just a way more mean Laurie Markkinen. Like the
Yeah,
size, the
I
be
can
able
see that.
ability to dribble, get to the rim. He can't. He probably can't shoot it as well as Markkinen, which is why that's kind of a
No, maybe more of a
rougher.
Miritich or a
Yeah, just one of those
who's
big guys
yeah
that plays with the ball in his hands.
maybe he's just like a Dario Saric, but like,
Yeah, that's an
which
NBA
like
career.
guys or Belitza, like guys who had NBA careers, I expect him to be in the NBA at some point.
Yeah,
Um, Virginia also has really good freshman guard Chance Mallory, who I thought played really
so
tough. He's only 5'10", so I wouldn't look at him as a real NBA option. Though he had some tough shots,
yeah,
he is a dog. Like him and Ben Hammond were absolutely battling for offensive rebounds with each other. Just two
yeah.
under 6 foot guys, just battling for rebounds. That was fun to see.
Yeah, when you have
Ballard
guys
had
that are under 6 foot getting offensive
yeah.
rebounds and having numerous of them, that just tells you who's playing with heart. Like they don't
Those
want to
guys are going to go
lose.
to war with each other in Australia. That's my
Yeah,
prediction. Is both of them
yeah.
will be overseas, and that could be a real rivalry. Like those guys seem to hate each other.
No, they were
That was
going at
fun to
it.
watch, though. Yeah,
But
it's
honestly, the more I learned about the Vatech Virginia rivalry for college basketball, the more I was excited about that game. I mean, again, because like I said, you picked it as game of the week, and I was like, okay, I'll let him ride with it. Like, I couldn't tell you if it was a good pick or not, and then turned out to be the greatest pick of all time because I was glued to my seat. Like, I was ignoring all of the things that I was supposed to be doing that day because of that game. Out of my seat numerous times. I fell in love with Hansberry,
yeah.
Gerdak, true freshman for Vatek. Nothing to write home about, but he had his best game of his life that day. But Hansberry, if Hansberry could find a way to shoot
Yeah,
35%,
he's got something of a shot,
yeah,
but
it's there.
really, he's one of those guys. He's going to be great probably overseas because he's 6'8", 240. He's a dominant rebounder at college. It's going to be tough in the NBA at that height, and I don't think he's super athletic, but he's a good basketball
No,
player. He's a very good
yeah,
college player. Um,
he's like Oscar Sheboy if Oscar Sheboy had no
yeah,
post moves but had the shot.
yeah, we'll see. The thing is, he's also a very good playmaker, and that's the skill that might get him into the league. Is he's a 3 or 4 assist a game guy. He can really play, make
Could
and play in transition really well. So could he maybe find a role?
yeah?
Maybe.
Could you see him being a Jermichael Green type player?
That's kind of what I was thinking of. Like, well, maybe he
Yeah,
becomes something like that.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
again, it requires a um, an improvement with his shot.
Yeah.
So
Well, he
I
was
think
two
he
for
had a
three from
chance.
three, seven
Yeah,
of nine in the next
his
game
shot
against Wake
looks
Forest.
fine.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it
It's the free
mechanically, I don't
throws.
think. The free throws
Yeah.
are pretty rough. He
Because
shot
I
both
think
games pretty badly during this week, like field goal percentage wise, but like he
yeah.
had a lot of he's kind of was the college basketball equivalent of Angel Reese in this one in the Virginia
in the
game.
in the Virginia game,
He
yeah.
had like 8 offensive rebounds. He was like 3 for 13. Like
Yeah.
we know
He
where
was
those
not
offensive
he was
rebounds are
not
coming
doing
from,
well. Yeah.
but
Uh, and then the Wake Forest game, he was 7 of 9 from the field. Had another double double, 2 of 3 from three, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's cooking, and then he fouled out. And they
yeah,
ended up losing to Wake Forest to a
I
guy
think
that I still don't even remember his name that I texted you, but he drained a step back
yeah,
three in Ben Hammond's face.
yeah. I think Virginia Tech's a team to look out for come tournament time. They're more likely than not if they get in. Like that is a question. A 10 or
Yeah.
11 seed, like, but they kind of give that feel of that's a team that could go on a run. Kind of like NC State a few years ago. Like
I was,
I see a number of just solid players on this team that if they get hot, look
yeah.
out. And if Dallas really breaks through, then they're a really dangerous team. Like if he suddenly gets going, like he had a 33-point triple double or close to a triple double earlier this year. If he starts hitting threes left and right, like he had at points of this year, like that's a really tough team to face.
Yeah.
Um,
I think with him, the only thing that like really bugged me, especially in that game in particular, because I've watched two now. The Wake Forest game, he did not shoot it that much. And I don't know whether or not that had anything to do. He got a little banged up at the end of that Virginia game, rolled his ankle a little bit, and he stopped shooting after he rolled his ankle in that Virginia game, which helped them win
mhm.
because he just. I texted you. I was like, he is the generational ball stopper. Their offense was clicking every time he never touched the ball. The second he touched it, one Mississippi, two Mississippi, and he just went. I was like, stop! And then he chunked up a terrible shot. So I guess I'm obviously a little lower just because I watched a
I'm
bad game from him.
yeah, I've seen him play great. I've seen him play terrible.
Yeah,
I think there is some upside there because when you watch him just miss those step back threes, it's kind of tough to see. But he's had
yeah,
games where that shot's just fallen for him,
yeah,
and then you're like, all right, like there's some upside there because again, he's a guy who can do things that most guys can't do.
Yeah.
He is a 6'9" point guard. That's going to be intriguing to somebody.
Yeah.
He'll absolutely be a first round pick. Whether that's going to be a good pick or not, yeah, I don't know. We'll
Well,
see
it
more
depends
as
on
he
what
plays in the
team.
ACC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one
he'll
of
be
those
in that
things.
probably.
Hey, honestly, they might need some shot creators.
They drafted 4 point guards last year, or something like that.
Yeah, but 4 point guards that can't shoot.
Yeah,
Four
so they
point
can take
guards that dribble and pass.
So you know what they should do is take another point guard who can't really shoot.
It's fair.
Or defend
fair.
or pass. But
I do agree. Like Vatek is definitely one of those sneakier 9 to 12 seed, just because you have the blueprint. If Dallas finds it, and, just becomes a solid 20 point per game type guy. Maybe not even that. You don't necessarily have to be that with the way this team's built, because it's essentially a 7 to 8 man team. They rebound, they hustle, they're competitive. That is the blueprint for being a sneaky underdog seed in the NCAA tournament.
And all those teams
I told you,
have had a dominant or a very good like power forward center type guy.
Yeah,
rebounding doesn't get the accolades, but puts up numbers. And that's like, remember that Oral Roberts team had Kevin O'Banner play really well, even though Max Aisman's got the hype around him. So Hansberry kind of can. I could see that from him.
Yeah, and I mean they've already been in what I think I told you 4 overtime games. I think is the number that they've already been in. They're 4-0 in overtime games, and then Wake Forest came down to the last shot anyways. So like they're playing teams close, whether they're playing good teams close or bad teams close. Yes, so they're gonna have to like eventually be able to put away teams that aren't as good as them. But I mean, just being competitive and being in every game is going to win you games. Like that Virginia was an upset. So they've shown that they can play with anybody, but then they also got upset by Wake Forest, in my opinion. Granted, I haven't paid that much attention to Wake Forest, but so definitely an intriguing team for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, very intriguing. I like seeing teams like that just to succeed, and especially that a team that's probably going to come from the bottom half of the tournament if they make it in. They'll be interesting to follow.
I mean, we had Ole Miss last year with Padula, but I don't think we were a 6 seed, weren't we?
6 seed.
Yeah. I told you we should have been a 12 seed because I did not love that team until we got to the postseason.
What and now Padula's putting up Sweet 16.
No, we made it to the Elite Eight.
You made it to the Elite Eight?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Who beat y'all?
We beat. I don't even remember who we played in the first
Carolina.
round. And then we beat Iowa State. And then I think we beat Arkansas.
Oh, really? I thought y'all played Michigan State for some reason.
We did play Michigan State, and then because we got beat by Michigan State, but I think we beat 3 teams. Or no, I might be thinking of Arkansas in the SEC tournament.
I feel like y'all were out of the Sweet 16.
We might have been Sweet 16, but even still, I told you that was the fact that we made it there was just
good run. Iowa State's a team I didn't expect
because we had no business being there.
Carolina, but.
Well, we cooked Iowa State. That was our best shooting night of the year.
Yeah.
We shot like 70% from the field.
It does feel like this year there are 3 teams that I would bet the house on to make the Final Four.
You're right. Sweet 16, we lost out. Michigan State. I was thinking the SEC championship because we killed Arkansas in the SEC championship.
I remember thinking like that's the one that's going to do them in because I was like at a certain point, they're getting by. I think by good coaching. Now they're running into a team with just a better coach.
No, Izzo so damn good. Also, I said championship. We were not in the SEC championship. The SEC tournament. We did not go to the SEC championship. I don't think. I know we beat Arkansas in the tournament because I just love beating Arkansas. It's a great day when we can beat Arkansas. We're not going to do it this week. I can guarantee you that. It ain't happening tomorrow.
No.
Or is it
highly?
Is it today?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, Arkansas.
Home opener. We're going to lose by 30. We lost by 20 to Oklahoma.
But it's Arkansas, so you never know.
It's a great point.
You never know. But
they did beat Tennessee.
They did beat Tennessee pretty badly. Darius Acuff is absolutely for real. I think he moves into the lottery.
That's definitely a freshman we have not talked about very much.
Mainly
really because I haven't watched a lot of them. but he
I haven't watched a
was
ton of him
legit.
yet. I've just kind of been following box scores for him so far, and each time he pops off the page in big games of like that dude. And like Thomas is another good guard who'll probably go in the first round. Um,
Yeah,
so that team's tough, and Brazil's played really well. So that's another.
yeah.
If they weren't Arkansas, I would say look out for them come tournament time. But they'll probably be
It's
out in the second
Calipari.
round.
Yeah, it's Calipari. They're going to play
It's
a lower seed, and
whatever.
they're going to lose.
Yeah,
And
he'll
it's
just get
just
out coached by some coach from Oakland that's been there for 30
and,
years.
and then Darius Acuff is going to go on to have a really good NBA career because for some reason Calipari just always gets guards that are great in
I
college,
think he
but
knows how
don't
to
win
develop
championships.
guards, and
Yeah,
yeah, no,
I mean
I
that's
don't know.
Calipari's calling card. Calipari's calling card
Yeah,
forever
there's a
has
reason
been,
guards go
I'm going
there.
to get you in the league. I'm going to get you in the league. We might not. I don't care about the
Unless you're
championship.
DJ
I'm going to get you in
Wagner,
the
he's going
league.
to get you in the league.
Well, okay. Well, that's different circumstances. We're
It's
talking good guards that go play with him.
DJ Wagner was the number one recruit in the country.
Yeah, it just hadn't clicked. It's because the shot's
I
so
saw
bad.
after his freshman year, I saw something like he didn't have a great year, but there was a couple games where like, all right, there it is. There's the
Yeah,
potential. The dumbest thing he did was follow Calipari to Arkansas. He should have gone somewhere else, and that's the point. Like, if him thinking like I probably it's Calipari, he does well with guards, he puts them in the league. That doesn't mean he's going to put you in the league.
yeah,
He probably needed a real situation to play with a real serious team.
yeah,
Full disrespect to every Calipari team, but like the one that really functions and like a real structure to it,
yeah.
and a real like system. Like maybe he could have transferred to a Kansas or a
An Ole
Baylor.
Miss.
Scott Drew develops guards well. Michigan State, something like that. Like who has a veteran coach that can just develop guys and develop guards besides Calipari. That'd been
Yeah,
smart. He didn't do that. Now
yeah.
he's there's no chance he makes the league now. But
No, no, not at all. I was iffy on him even then, but yeah, going to Calipari was not the best move for him.
it was a bad move.
But we did have a whole podcast that we recorded, and the audio just got absolutely destroyed. So we didn't get to hit on James Najee. And now that we've seen him play, how are you feeling as a Baylor fan with James Najee?
My feeling on James Nagy is pretty simple. I got nothing on him. Like I really was like he didn't look good, but also I'm like, well, I'll give him some more time because he's getting used to a new system. But you follow the Baylor games going into that, Baylor was starting to really hit more of a defensive stride. They moved up from 320th in defensive rating to about 130th, which I'll take. I know it was against Alcorn State and Arlington Baptist, but there's something there, and their centers off the bench were starting to play pretty well. Um, he just didn't mesh, I don't
Yeah.
think at all.
Is it the
TCU
college game, or do you just think it's because of how big the news was? TCU was like refusing to let that be an option in this game.
I think that's probably part of it. You come out. He was never a big deal in Europe. Like he
Yeah,
played, but he wasn't a super impactful guy. So here's a guy coming in who's the experience is as a role player to come in and all the eyes are on you. The crowd is booing you every single time you touch the ball. You haven't really had a chance to mesh with your teammates yet. Who also, I don't know what the feeling on the Baylor roster is towards him.
yeah,
Coming in midseason like that. So that's a tough situation. Ultimately, if Baylor's going to succeed this year, they're going to need him to perform. They needed him,
yeah.
period, to be there. To have a chance this year. Now they're going to need him to actually step up and play like what they paid him to play.
Yeah, I will say he's definitely going to have to get used to the boos. There's not going to be a team in college basketball that plays Baylor that's not going to boo him because that's just one of those things that, and the whole world's not rooting for him either. Like, I mean, that's just one of those things that you're looking at a guy that was literally like, oh, you can't even make it in the NBA, so you're going to have to leave the NBA just to go back to college basketball so you can do something with your career. Like, and so there's going to be a lot of boo bears on it. I'm indifferent. I don't care. I'm interested to see it play out.
Yeah, the tough thing is it's not different from say Dallas, who went to the draft last year and just happened to go undrafted, and then he went to play college basketball. Other guys who would have gone to the draft but just weren't good enough. He's a guy that got drafted based on potential because he was at a big club in Barcelona. He was barely playing, and then he's a developmental prospect there. He goes to the summer league, but then no one seemed interested in signing him after the summer league, and wanted to stash him overseas. And it didn't. He was becoming one of those draft and stash guys that never comes over. That's right. Just we're going to get traded around to every team, every which way.
Yeah.
And so he made this decision, which honestly, like, it's not. I think he's perfectly warranted to do that, given how the rules that are in place right now.
Yeah. Would it not technically still be considered him being quote draft and stashed? Like are his rights still with the Knicks?
His rights will still be with the Knicks, which is why I think you're going to see a lot of guys, teams doing this. I would like to see, does the NCAA take a stand or the NBA take a stand in drafting, say, a freshman that you don't think's ready to come out yet and saying, go play college basketball for a few more years?
Yeah.
That's what this has opened up, I think.
Yeah.
Like, trying to think of who's a good freshman that's probably not going to get drafted.
Your dude Mallory.
We'll say
he's too small, but
he's too small. That's why. We'll say Abuka Okori for Stanford, who's averaging 23 a game. But he's only like 6 foot. He's not an amazing shooter, but like a team could say, yeah, we're going to draft him anyways, and we want him to stay and play a few more years in college, and we're going to hope he develops into a Walter Clayton type over a few years. Could we see that? I think that could be where this is headed, especially with players wanting to stay in college to get NIL money. Instead of saying, I'm going to get drafted, then I'm going to sign a G League contract or a two-way contract, which is going to be worth significantly less than I would make in playing college basketball.
Yeah.
That one shocked me. I think teams will want guys to develop anyway.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be more rule changes coming in, especially
I agree.
There might be you can come as a freshman or you have to stay at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But you're draft eligible at any point, but at a certain point, if you get drafted and you stay in, you have to stay 3 or 4 years. Maybe that might be a rule change.
Yeah. I remember like pre-NIL, like right before NIL became a thing, I remember there were like some guys that were like, I'd rather go play in the G League because I get paid, which is kind of where the turning point for basketball with the NIL came in, because everybody was like, we still want college basketball to be a thing. So like, we don't want all these guys that are probably capable of being a G League player and getting a chance to be like a two-way type guy. We don't want them to leave just because they're going to get paid. So we want to pay them in college. I could totally see a world where, I think you open up the being drafted eligible out of high school, and it being a draft and stash type thing, like where this dude's gonna. Like let's look at who's the number one prospect in this, or let's just use Cooper Flag for this, because let's be honest, Cooper Flag would have been the number one or a top 10 pick out of high school anyways, just based on who he was. AJ Devanza, let's either of those two. Think of whoever you want in your head, but like let's just say a team's like, all right, I want you to still go play college basketball. Like we're going to use the number 15 pick in this draft on you, but you're going to go play college basketball. And we might, make it we take you after this year or whatever, but we're not going to be a top 3 team. So we're not going to get you in the draft next year if we wait on you, but we want you now. So we're going to waste our pick this year, but you're not going to come on our team until a year or two from now. Like, I don't know if I like enjoy that or want that to happen, but I could see a world where this kind of opens up that.
I think the NBA steps in at that point and says, we're not going to do that, because there'd be one crazy draft the first year they did it. Every team would be an arms race. So if you start seeing a bunch of teams trying to stockpile picks in one draft, it's about to happen. But I think the NBA, they don't want it to be like the MLB draft, where guys are going to be in the minor leagues for years after they're picked. They want these guys to get drafted and play right away. That's what they want. That's their selling point on the NBA draft, which is a huge moneymaker for them.
Yeah.
So I think they would step in at that point.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, it's interesting to see it play out for sure.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned prior to getting on here, you were leaning a game of the week. You want to break the news here and Let me see
Let
how I'm
me
feeling about the.
let me pull it up. There's one game that stood out to me, and I'm gonna try to go 2 for 2 this week. I don't think this will be an overtime game. I think it's
If you somehow manage to like find a way to get every overtime game as the game of the week, I will be
because
very
last week,
surprised.
like honestly, my plan before I just said it was going to be USC Michigan because I had the most guys I had listed in it. I'll just say USC Michigan, but I was like, no, Michigan's gonna kill them.
Yeah,
What's the
they
next
did.
one? Yeah, they did. I'll probably not pick Michigan throughout the entire game of the week.
They're so good. They're
They're,
so
they're,
good.
they just kill teams. This is
No,
one I
they're
think is very interesting, though. This is tonight's at 8 p.m. Central Time. Number 14 team in the country, Texas Tech, going on the road to number 7 Houston.
ooh Kingston Fleming and Christian Anderson. Oh, I'm
Kingston
gonna be
Fleming versus Christian
glued to
Anderson,
my
JT Toppin versus
TV.
Chris Sinak.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's if you're a draft fan, this is a must watch game.
I don't even need to see this game. That well done. You're 2 for 2 on game of the week picks because I think the thing that I'm going to be watching the most. I've seen a lot of Kingston Flemings and I've seen a lot of Christian Anderson. I've even seen a lot of JT Toppin just due to last year and then watching Christian Anderson this year. You can't not see JT Toppin. I want to see Chris Sinak versus JT Toppin. I think I'm still unsure of where I see Chris Sinak in this draft class. I know he's a lottery protected or a lottery projected guy. I have not seen it yet. I've seen spurts. I've been like, okay, yeah, I can see what people are like expecting him to be, but I don't see it yet.
mhm.
This is a great test. This is going to be a phenomenal test because this is point guard and essentially center. I know they're if they went to the NBA, I don't think Chris Nack or JT Toppin would be a true center. And if they were, they'd be a small ball lineup type center. They're both smaller, like 6'10 to. I think is Sinak 6'10 or is he 6'9"?
He is 6'11", actually.
He's bigger. Okay, my bad.
He's 6'11",
It's Jake,
240.
which is on the
So
smaller
he's
side,
so
but
in the NBA he's 6'9".
yeah. So I think that's the guy I'll be watching for sure because I'm ready to see him. I don't necessarily need you to break out for a 30-20 game. Like I don't necessarily need that. I'm not expecting that.
He's
But
gonna stand up the Toppin.
you're playing arguably one of the best back to the basket type guys in college basketball right now. Toppin has no shot whatsoever. Everything he does is around the rim, and then he's the I'm
Yeah,
like
he's shooting 16% from three.
what's DeAndre Jordan. He's the DeAndre Jordan. You put him in a gym and he's not allowed to touch the paint. How often does he score the basket? That's JT Toppin right now.
I'll have you know
I'm
JT
excited
Toppin
to
is
see
shooting
that.
a whopping 47% from the free throw line.
I think I could shoot 47% from the free throw line.
Maybe.
I could probably shoot
Um,
16% from three.
yeah, I think
I definitely could
probably.
do that. I'd probably
Um,
be a little better.
you go through some cold stretches.
What do you mean go through them? I'm always in a cold stretch.
You go through some brutal cold stretches of like 0 for 10 type stuff.
Hey, but there's nothing more beautiful than watching Connor miss every three, except for the one where I stood right in front of his face while he was on my own team. That was some beautiful,
That
like
was
true psyche, seeing a psyche of a
yeah.
dude. Because I'm telling you, this is, and also this is one of our friends. He's probably gonna be angry at me for even mentioning him, but he drains everything in my face. Like I can play the greatest defense in the world on him, and it doesn't matter. He drains it. And the second he's on my team, he misses everything. And so I had to give him the ball and just stand in front of him, even while I was on his own team. But side note, sorry. Yeah, I
No
would go through a
bummer.
lot of cold stretches.
Um,
Yeah, I did. It was phenomenal. He made 4 in a row.
yeah. Another matchup to watch in this game, by the way, is Lawan Watts, who's played pretty well for Texas Tech. He's going up against Emmanuel Sharp, who's Houston's leading scorer. Lawan Watts is 14 points a game. Sharp is 16 points a game. Both really good shooters. There's a lot to this game. I think that
No, this is a good one.
we'll keep people paying attention to.
Does Kingston Fleming hit his averages on steals against Christian Anderson?
Ooh,
He's averaging
let's
like
see.
3 steals a game, somewhere in that range.
2.3 steals,
Okay, I was a
three
little
turnovers, 3 turnovers a game from Christian Anderson. So I would expect that. Bet the over on Kingston Fleming steals.
He's had games where he's had like almost a triple double with steals. I might be exaggerating a bit. I think he's had a couple of 7 steal games.
Yeah,
Which is
I think he had
absurd.
one. I'm gonna let you
Was it
know.
one?
He had an 8 steal game, and then he's coming off a 5 steal game.
Okay, I
But those
blended
games are against
blended them
Florida
together.
State and Cincinnati. Yeah,
Not terrible
he's
teams.
great.
Well,
Not
Florida
terrible
State's not
teams.
great,
Well,
but
Florida State's pretty bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Okay, well done. I'm excited. And that's tonight. That's tonight at
that's tonight at 8. I'll probably be watching it in place of the Grizzlies.
who
But I
are we
just
playing?
don't Spurs.
Is Wimby playing?
Probably Coward's not.
That's right. He got hurt when he was
He
literally going
he
off on the
he was
Lakers.
going off on the Lakers, and before the refs handed the Lakers that game, um, yeah, he rolled his ankle.
Look, I've lived 25 years, officially, 3 days ago. I don't know why I torture myself on literally like it was literally my birthday. I was like, I'll watch the Grizzlies. I'll know by the third or fourth quarter, like if I'm going to stay up. Well, we had it tied going into the fourth. This is the first game. This is when Ja played, not the second time we played him. And I was like, all right, it's tied. We're playing well. We're not playing great by any means, but we're in the game. I was like, I'll stay up, and we just get clobbered in the fourth, clobbered. And then the next game, I didn't even watch because I'm learning that I just don't want to watch any of our West Coast games because it's not fun. We're horrendous in the West Coast. I mean, it's so bad.
We beat the Lakers in the second game.
I know, but
I'll come on and say it. Rodney Mott's crew is absolutely ridiculously biased.
Yeah, not as biased as that Georgia Ole Miss game.
There was a couple. That one Kirby Smart just lost, but
yeah,
missed.
What's funny is the face mask was the one that I was like, we're gonna lose this game. That's gonna be how we lose this game. Is that face mask? I didn't care about the one defense. The one defensive holding was a great call. Like he held him, but he literally, if you didn't, that's a touchdown, and now you're in a pickle. So I was fine with that one. The one where our defender turns around, it's a horribly thrown ball, uncatchable, and he grabs our face mask, and it was a PI on us. That one was garbage.
Good call.
No, that was garbage. But then
this game was lost, and I texted you ball game once they threw the ball on that third and goal. I was like, well, that's why. Just run the ball.
Yeah.
You might score, but more than likely, you give them 16 seconds to try to go down the field with no timeouts.
Yeah,
like you go to.
And I will say,
with the momentum,
this might be a little biased. Actually, it's no. Two guys that I think had stellar games against really good defense were our two receivers. Dejon Stribling, who has come on this year, but I mean, he's a big wide receiver. He just absolutely ran the filthiest route on that slot fade to get us in a field goal range. Every quarterback that I've seen break down that play is like, I would have, like, they were like, Trinidad Chambliss was probably like shaking in his boots to not overthrow this because your dude, I think, and they always say, if you're parallel, you throw it. Because if one's backpedaling and one's running full speed, the guy running full speed is going to beat the guy backpedaling every time, and that's exactly what happened there. Why Kirby Smart called no safety man coverage blitz.
Such weird calls.
Dumbest crap I've seen. Yeah, but Dejon Stribling and Harrison Wallace definitely boosted their stock. I didn't really know where they would get drafted or if they would. I think if both of them go out and have combines that I think they're probably going to have because they're both rather athletic, they'll boost their stock. I think they're the ones that are like having as good of a playoff run as Trinidad is right now. Which Trinidad's coming back anyway.
Trinidad,
so
to me, I watched it. I was like, how is he not the third quarterback off the board in this year's draft? Why would he not
5'11"?
I guess, but I'm just watching and I saw some things when they made it was this day before he made the announcement that he's going to stay at Ole Miss if he gets his waiver. And I still wonder if he goes to the combine anyway and see how that goes. There's a couple articles that are like after the game saying, well, in relation to the draft, like, well, what Trinidad will still have to prove is can he do this in a different offense? Which I see that as I guess that's a point, but I'm looking at like he's athletic and he's very accurate and he reads the defense well.
The only thing that scares me, um, is the Kyler Murray. He's eerily similar to a Kyler Murray, just size and stature. Uh,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray looked like this in college, and Kyler Murray went on to be the number one overall pick. And now we're going to go into an off season where they could stick it out one more year with Kyler Murray, or they trade him, or they just cut him out. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But the only downside to that is the Cardinals did fall into the third overall pick, and they're not going to get a quarterback there because there's no way you trust Ty Simpson to be that guy if Ty Simpson comes out. I think I've
If
going back
Dante
and
Moore comes
forth.
out, do you take Dante Moore there?
Well, the Jets have the number 2 pick. So if Dante Moore comes out and Fernando Mendoza, it's going to be Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore as the first 2 quarterbacks, and it's going to be Jets and Raiders.
Yeah, Trinidad coming out would be the one that I think would throw a wrench because I think he's still probably a second round pick if he comes out. Does a team that would be the one if I'm a team like the Jets that I might say, hey, rather than taking the second quarterback off the board with the number 2 pick, we go and take somebody else, and then we
We take
wait
a
for the second
Carnell
round.
Tater, Jordan
Yeah,
Tyson
and
just
then
to
you
get a
take
number 2
Trinidad
wide
in the second
receiver.
round because
Yeah.
there's some like to me the difference, and I don't know, short quarterbacks right now could not be less popular in the league
Yeah.
because of how Kyler Murray, because of Bryce Young,
Bryce Young.
and how that just hasn't panned out. Um,
Yeah.
but because I always said Kyler Murray, well, it's mental makeup and all that, but Bryce Young has kind of great mental makeup.
I think
You talk to him,
I
you're
think
like, yeah,
Bryce
that's a
Young,
dude,
yeah.
and
But Bryce Young just doesn't rely on his athleticism like he did in college. I think that's what people forget is like he was really athletic and he
yeah,
still is. He just doesn't use it.
I guess that's where I wonder with Chambliss is because Bryce Young probably ran into this, which is more athletic players, defensive players, and suddenly your athleticism is less dominant, and then just
Yeah.
stopping to rely on it is like with Chambliss. Just that rollout he had to set up that huge play. Does he just get
Yeah.
caught by an NFL lineman there?
I think this game's going to be a really telling one because
Yeah,
against Miami, you're playing 2 of the.
that's the
I
best
mean,
defensive line you're going to see.
I think
It's a
if he
very
can do that
interesting game.
against them, yeah, because
I
they held down
personally
Marcel Reed.
Yeah, I personally am picking the winner of the Indiana Oregon game to win the title because I think Indiana. If Indiana's not your favorite to win the title, like what are you watching right now? But my only thing is,
Yeah.
if Oregon beat them, Oregon would immediately become my favorite because like, well, they just beat Indiana. Um,
Both of their defenses are legit too.
yeah,
I
so
mean, I
I think again every Miami game to me is interesting because I don't think a team in the country blows them out because I think their defense is that good.
yeah.
So can they stay in it? We'll see. Can Carson Beck make enough plays? We'll see.
I saw something, and I'm gonna butcher these stats, but it was like uh, Miami is averaging like negative EPA per play. They're averaging only like half a point per drive in the playoffs, yet they're winning games. They were like, I'm a little nervous about Miami just because their offense is going to have to show a pulse because they were like, I think you can slow down Ole Miss, but you're not going to stop them. Like
They're
they're
going to
going
get
to
some
eventually
points.
have a drive, yeah, a drive or
Yeah,
two where
you
they
can
just
expect at
everything
least 20
clicks.
points from Ole Miss.
Yeah. Well, we technically have scored over 30 in every game, except for the Washington State game. That's the only game that we have
Yeah.
not scored over 30, which that was coming off a bye week. So kind of, I don't necessarily know what to chalk that up to, but
Yeah. In a related point, this will be the end of the 12-team playoff
oh,
this year.
yeah,
There will be no more first round buys because as Indiana, the only one that won in both years now.
1-7.
But outside of that, all the teams with a bye, they lost and they looked completely out of rhythm.
Yeah.
Um,
Minus Georgia. Georgia did look really good.
I disagree. To me, Georgia stuck to the plan, but even when they were up, I was like, they don't seem to be in that great of an offensive rhythm at all.
Yeah.
I just never saw them really putting together drives. Sometimes their defense would make a play and set them up, and things worked out for them. But
We had 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 12 on the same drive. Missed a tackle on both of them for negative gain. Gave up the first down.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
like I didn't think they looked like because what ended up happening is with Ole Miss and Oregon, it's less that they had to play a game. They got tune-up games going into this. Like
Yeah.
both teams came out. I thought they just looked more ready to play. Ole Miss came out running the ball better than Georgia was running the ball to start the game. That was when I was like, all right, this is gonna be a ball game. And
then they had a drive where they ran 7 straight plays right up the middle, and we just 75 yards like butter. I texted my dad. I said, "What was that?" He goes, "We just need a tackle." I was like,
yeah.
We had 7 guys wrapping up, and none of them could tackle.
Yeah,
I was like, they're running for 12 yards a carry.
Where I was watching Georgia going to the season, I was like, I think them and Indiana is who this comes down to. I thought.
I agree.
Occasionally, you saw the talent of Georgia just kind of come through. Like, this is what they're capable of. There's little times like, to me, the play callers looked out of rhythm of like, what are they doing here? That fourth down where they rushed out the field and then quick got. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, and you also did that to us. You also did that to a center. That this is only his second start of the year because the starting center got hurt prior to the SEC championship game, if I remember. So it's either his second or third start ever. And according to Kirby, he was like, we were going to run a play, but we weren't going to do it like that. And so apparently the snap everything was off on that play. And I mean, credit to Ole Miss for just getting the sack. Because if you didn't, and I mean,
a lot of times things looked off, especially coming out of that half where I'm like, maybe they're not. Like that, the month off is what's ridiculous for those.
And I mean, I think I just agree with Dan Lanning. I think because he literally flat out said, and I mean, they were in the Orange Bowl, right? That's the bowl that they played in Miami. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But he was saying prior to the game against Texas Tech, he was like, this should be the championship week. He's like, we should have played the first round of the playoffs right after conference championship week. We should have played the second round of playoffs. When you played the first round of the playoffs, then you play third round, and then your championship this week. He's like, it's ridiculous to ask college athletes to wait 25 days to play football because that's exactly what Texas Tech, Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia had to do. They had to wait 25. That's almost a month.
Then your schedule with the transfer portal starts making sense.
Because I don't know if you saw this, but one of Oregon's DB room is like their, I guess, scariest or thinnest room at the moment because they've had injuries. They literally had a rotational corner who has played for them this year enter the transfer portal and leave a mid-playoff run. Yeah, I think that talks more his character than anything else because at the end of the day, you're a game away from a championship. So, that's kind of on you for being that way. But that can't happen. That just can't.
How many of these guys are waiting to transfer after their team loses? It could be plenty. We don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know.
And now, with from what I heard, LSU barely even looked at Trinidad Chambliss because the reason was they can't afford to wait around. They moved quickly to Leavitt and Sorsby as their options because they're like, we can't wait around both on the waiver and for Ole Miss to finish up in the playoffs. Just can't do.
Which that. I did hear that there is pessimism around the waiver getting coming through.
It's just taken so long. I'm like, if any team waited for that to happen and put all their chips into Trinidad Chambliss and they don't get it, they're out of a quarterback. Ole Miss is right now the only team I think that's worth it to try it with. Yeah. So I was like, you can.
And I mean, we do have a red shirt guy that I like a lot that's behind him now. So because Simmons did commit to Missouri. Good for him. I don't care.
And if reports are to be believed, Sam Leavitt will be signing with LSU today.
Did he?
That he's finishing his visit today, and it sounds like that is pretty much locked up.
Good for him. He'll be your Jackson Dart.
Yeah. I liked Leavitt. I liked him a couple years ago in the playoffs. I'd rather that than
I mean, does Nussmeier technically have another year? Or is he has no more eligibility?
He was convinced to stay by Kelly another year to try to win a national championship.
And proceeded to go, 7-6? Shout out Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly, who committed, Ole Miss got an LSU offensive tackle today. Congratulations. The guy can't block anybody.
I don't necessarily know if that was he can't block anybody or if y'all's scheme was just
that offensive line coach is one of the dumbest people on the planet.
Yeah.
They didn't do any sled drills or anything like that. They did no strength drills whatsoever. So they were like all speed and that athleticism type drills. Nothing with strength. So they're all super soft.
And y'all didn't run any of those schemes. Y'all didn't run that type of offense. Like any of y'all's run plays were never like speed,
again,
agility.
This is why like, you can say like, you hope things go horribly wrong for us. I'm like, it can't be worse with what we were running out there. We still went 7-5 in spite of this.
Yeah. I will say I mean I know I'm joking a lot just because I enjoy it now, but I've been really proud of the way that Pete Golding has been able to not only maintain this roster, but he's also already gotten 7 transfers in this class.
Yeah.
Granted, he's done all on the defensive side.
He's done well. And again, we're still waiting to see like potentially who's leaving Ole Miss. So far, the big names have announced they're staying. That's huge for them. Yeah. I'm sure that was a big priority from Ole Miss, which is we're just going to give Chambliss and Lacey whatever they want to stay. Before this, I had also heard
Lucas Carnero was the third on that list. It was Chambliss 1, Lacey 2, and Carnero. Yeah. No, I mean I know that's funny because we're saying that about a kicker. Look at the Ohio State game. Awesome. Ohio State beats Indiana if their kicker makes a 26-yard field goal.
Ole Miss won that game because their kicker was nails all game.
I mean, he 55-yarder, 56-yarder, and the game-winning, I think it was 44, 45-yarder. I don't remember how long that was. And
Georgia's kicker came up short on a 54-yarder.
I mean, that's the difference in the game. Yeah. Because, I mean, I was really proud of our team. I know I texted y'all that over and over again, but, like, me and my dad were both in awe. Because we were both like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I said this when the Kiffin news happened. I am grateful for the 6 years. I really am. Lane Kiffin loses that game 10 times out of 10.
I agree. I also would say, like, it's interesting. I don't think they win that game if Pete Golden starts the year with them. I don't think they're in the game.
No, I don't think they are.
I think they only win this game if Lane Kiffin builds this team, builds this staff, takes them, gets them this record, and then someone else takes over for him that just manages the game.
Because I think that's his issue is he wants to be so flashy all the dang time. He wouldn't have kicked either of those 55-yarders. He wouldn't have kicked either of them.
No,
he would have said, "No, screw it, go for it." And if you go for it and you get one of them, you get 7 points anyways. Like, I mean, you could sit there and have that debate all day. But I just love the fact that Pete Golding's like, no, momentum is more important in a game than being flashy. And I don't disagree at all. I think momentum is huge, and that's why I think Kirby Smart went for that fake punt because he was like, if we give them the ball back, we're going to be down double digits and we're going to have nothing. Like, we are going to be trying to push something uphill because they have all the momentum. And that's why he got that first 4th down. The second one, he was like, I just can't get Trinidad Chambliss this ball back. And it went poorly because very first play, Trinidad threw just a beautiful back shoulder fade and went us up 10, which I was feeling good then. And then it got close again. And I was like, gosh.
And then they tried to lose. And Elmas tried everything that last kickoff to try to screw up the finish. Like that, I remember just because rules expert Brett Bennett, my brother, let me know. Like, it was like I said, there's only 1 second left. The game's over regardless. I'm like, no. If there's an immediate recovery and no one touches it, no time runs up the clock. It's a dead ball. I was like, oh, so almost just has to punch the ball.
Yeah, and even if Georgia picks it up, they can't. If Georgia picks it up after you touch it, they can't.
They just all stood around and let him fall. And I'm like, okay, all right, they get a play.
I was like, smack the ball, do something,
kick it out of bounds.
Literally, if you kick it out or just fall out of bounds with it, I don't care. You don't have to recover.
Or just someone just run up and kick the ball, like, and the game's over.
Yeah, because they can't recover it and return it. If you touch it and they recover it, the ball is down.
Yeah,
like it's over. And that was an issue. I will say there were moments like that I was like, oh Lord. Having
I was
second game
head coach. Because there was an Ole Miss player who slipped on the ice that had already been dumped on the field. I was like, this is about to be a banned on the field moment. They keep moving the stage off every 2 seconds.
They moved it off 3 times. Yeah, it was awesome.
Those poor people just moving that stage over and over again.
Yeah. Needless to say, I was very, very excited, very proud of my team. I'm just happy to be here at this point, which sounds like the cheesiest thing ever. But when you've lost as much as I have as an Ole Miss fan and some of the weirder ways too, I'm just appreciative to be here. I think that's the same thing Indiana fans are probably saying. I mean, there were people being interviewed at the Rose Bowl where they were like, if you had told me we would have been at the Rose Bowl ever, I would have thought you were crazy. I mean, they literally were the losingest team in college football history, and now they're literally 2 games away from being champions,
Yeah, if it's
which
an
is
Ole
just
Miss Indiana finals, do
crazy.
both teams just shake their hands and agree to split the title because they're just happy to be there?
No, Kirk Cignetta's a madman,
Cignetti's a
actually.
madman.
No, he's never going to do that. I will be terrified if we have to play Indiana.
Man, that team.
They're
And
ridiculous.
that game completely sold me on Mendoza. It was like, this is a first round quarterback. Like that's a dude.
Well,
And
and I
as
will.
corny as he is, as cheesy as he is, and man, is he cheesy. I listened to him and I was like, somehow, some way, this is genuine. Like
Yeah,
this is
no, that's
this is
him.
genuinely him. And then you start when you understand that, it becomes clear why his team will play so hard for him.
Yeah,
They're fully behind him, and that's where I'm like, all right, please don't draft him, Raiders. I don't want to see my favorite Disney princess, Fernanda Mendoza, wearing the the Raiders colors and the skull and crossbones. But
here's my take
he
on.
needs to be on a colorful team.
He definitely doesn't need to go to the Jets. Jets is
He's
where quarterbacks
he's
go
a
to
Disney
die.
movie though.
The thing is, Tom Brady is part owner with the Raiders, and I have heard the first rumor or slash report is everybody thinks it's going to be Brian Flores as the head coach with Brian Daboll as their OC. I could see a world where Daboll probably falls more in love with Dante Moore. I
Yeah, I
could
can see
see
that.
that world. I could also see a crazy world where they look at the Giants and they say, "Give me Jackson Dart. You get the first pick. We're taking Jackson Dart." So I can see that world too. I
I
don't
can
know
see
if
that
that
world.
comes to fruition, because I just don't know who if this is all rumor slash reports. This has not come to fruition yet. But if Brian Daboll is that OC, I don't know who he'd like the most. I would lean Dante Moore. I'd also probably lean that Brady might like Dante Moore.
I think they'd
Um,
like
I,
Mendoza more.
I would prefer Mendoza to be a Raider just because I think Ashton Genty is good. And if
Yeah,
you can get offensive line help and just build, because look at how Indiana won that game. They won that game like an old school Alabama game. Defense was incredible. We ran for 250 yards. Our quarterback had more touchdowns than he did incompletions. I mean, it was a flawless game. Flawless.
mm-hmm.
I know Signetti's probably not going to say it was flawless, but that was dang near a perfect football game against a team that people still want to hold on to as a blue blood at this current state in
Team
college
that
football,
shouldn't have been there.
which shouldn't have been there. I stand on that. I have stood on that the entire time. I'm not wavering. They shouldn't have been there. I said that after the Oklahoma game. I didn't think Oklahoma was that good, but they were a better team than Bama because they beat them. They obviously lost. We have seen, I will say, I'm not predicting that Oregon wins, but we have seen that every time there's been a rematch, excluding the Ole Miss Tulane game, the team that lost the first
It's
time
tough to
did come
beat a
back
team
and win this time.
twice. Mendoza said
It
that in his
is,
post game interview. One of the many things he said.
yeah. In his 45-minute monologue,
His sermon
he's so
that he
goofy.
had.
I know.
He's such a youth pastor.
He really is. He has
I
a
love
career
him.
after football.
Yeah, he's gonna be great. It's
Um,
just we play
I don't.
complimentary football, like just every cliche you could think of.
He's Ryan Day. If Ryan Day was a quarterback,
Yeah.
Ryan Day's as cheesy as him too. Like I can't get the. Every time I hear complimentary football, I think of This is a tough team. I don't know where Lou Holtz is right now, but this is a tough team.
Through tears.
But if I had to go out on a limb right now, I'd probably pick Indiana, and as much as I want to pick Ole Miss, I'm so scared. I was scared going to the Georgia game. I I've seen our offense be defensive proof. Like I've seen it. We put up 30 on Oklahoma's top 10 defense. Georgia had just come on. I mean, we watched what they did to Alabama. Now I don't know how good Alabama is, but I don't know. I think I definitely disagree with a lot of the things I've already seen. Is where everybody's like, Miami's going to throttle Ole Miss. I definitely disagree with that. I don't think that's going to be the
No,
case
I
at
think Ole
all.
Miss should be the favorites in this game.
We're not. We're like 4.5 point underdogs.
I don't see why.
I don't either. I don't understand it. I get being the team that everybody is always like, they ain't supposed to be there. Like I get that. Like I've been a fan long enough to know that. But like,
Right. The
what
only way
about
I would have said it
Miami?
like is if suddenly Joe Judge was going to be calling all the plays.
If that was the case, yeah, I'd make it a 20.5 point spread.
Yeah, but Charlie Weiss is sticking around for this game, so it's going to be the same playbook. It's going to be the same type
Yeah.
of calls, which have worked. Almost, that almost was not going to be the case, thanks to just some finagling between schools going on. Threatened lawsuit from Ole Miss, LSU saying, "All right, then you can't have Charlie Weiss," and then Ole Miss saying dropping lawsuit, and we're back to square
He
one.
did. He did take our running back, wide receiver, tight end coach. Lane told all of them that you're not allowed to be there while we're trying to recruit transfer portal because he's
We do
getting
need to
absolutely
recruit.
lapped. He's getting lapped by the true portal king in Pete Golding.
I think you'll find if looking at a roster that we're doing just okay.
You're just purging your roster of all the horrible things.
Yeah,
that
the
were
guys
on
who
the
suck
team
are
last year.
gone, but the
Yeah.
receivers, there's a reason they're not really going after receivers and tight ends in the portal, because all those guys are staying from last year, and those guys are good.
I think
they don't have
last I looked,
running back.
y'all
They
had
still
like
have Harlem Berry at running back, who's a 5-star last year. So
the running back that's in the portal for y'all now wasn't he decent though?
Caden Durham,
Yeah,
he had some games. I would have said we need to start purging the running back room as well, just because I think bad habits have been developed through just a horribly designed offense.
yeah.
You can't get off of Harlem Berry. Guy's a 5-star recruit, has a lot of talent. So
Yeah, if he can pull Sam Levitt, that is going to be crucial.
Sam Levitt, and things will start to fall into place, I think, after that. Once they make the splashy signing, guys will start. Yeah. They'll move guys. They're in a battle with Ohio State for Chaz Coleman as well.
The
Penn State defensive end.
Okay.
5-star transfer. He's visiting Ohio State, I think, today. He's from Columbus, Ohio. If it becomes about that, he's going to Ohio State. But the hope is, optimism's low for that one. But they are.
That's like the 5-star, the 5 pipeline versus the 0 pipeline. Who's going to get this guy?
Let's see.
Proximity to home is what he cares about the most.
The hope is it's just a pure bidding war. Maybe it's a pure bidding war, then we can win that. But I don't.
If he went to Penn State off rip, like if he was coming from like an Auburn or somebody like that, where he clearly didn't care about being close to home, anyways, I'd maybe give you that one. But I haven't looked at that. I did think it was really funny seeing Kiffin and his portal gets so far have only been offense. Pete Golding's portal gets have only been defense.
They got a 4-star safety from Boise State today, Benefield.
Oh, so it just changed because I was enjoying the dynamic of Kiffin cannot recruit defense to save his soul. Yeah, they got a D line from Clemson now too.
The difference is Brock Baker can, or Blake Baker. Yeah,
another guy y'all stole from Ole Miss. Meanwhile, we have 8 incoming transfers for the Ole Miss Rebels, and they are all defenders.
And offensive lineman for LSU.
I forgot about him. Is he still on there?
The thing is, he was a true freshman this year. He was an absolute traffic cone. He was a freshman. I think he was playing out of position, offensive line.
Oh, he was
playing
tackle for y'all?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a guard. He's 1,000% going to be a guard for us.
But thing is, he was a 4-star transfer because he was a 4-star high school recruit.
Yeah.
It's more of a high school recruit for Ole Miss than anything else.
Yeah. Which, I'll be honest, I have no clue what our next year looks like right now. But I did want to finish up with a little bit of housekeeping. I mentioned the Twitter page, so everybody go follow that. We Love Drafts. Obviously, shorts are going to be coming back out on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, under We Love Drafts. And we're also we posted a couple, mainly just to get them out. We didn't preface them, but the Christmas movies draft and the board games / card game draft, we're probably going to be doing a little bit more of that dynamic because while we can get them under 3 minutes for the shorts purposes, we enjoy giving some of our goofy dialogue in between picks, especially like Red One. I couldn't just post Red One and then move on to the next pick. Like you had to have some understanding behind that. So you'll probably see a little bit more of those coming out along with some shorts from that. But I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Mm,
No, I think that's it.
no, I think it's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's good to be back in the saddle. It really is. I got you can't really see it behind me, but I got a speaker plugged up to my record player, and I came away from Christmas with like 10 records. So I got a speaker plugged in, and I just sit here and edit, and so it's been a blast. Thankfully, the Trinidad jersey is able to go back up on the thing because the front side's the side that got ruined. Thanks to my car. The car is about to be sold. I'm gonna try to find a junker to take my car. Yeah, yeah. But I think that's all I got today. I'm looking forward to it'll be 9 o'clock my time, but I'm looking forward to 9 o'clock Houston, Texas Tech. We love drafts game of the week. Jaret, that's all I got. I will see you later.
I'll see you.
Peace.